What's going on, YouTube? Time for another fun recap here. Now, today was a little choppy, but we navigated it correctly. So we'll start with some X calls. We'll go into the P&Ls here. Looks like the P&L screen's already up. We'll start here. So today was a smidge under 6K. So this is the 5 round trips, 0 red trades. Not too many contracts today. Usually I scalp way more, 20, 30 contracts, but we had some very clean, very easy moves here. That I called for my chat as well. So all the P&Ls there, just a smidge under 6 grand green. Let's get into it, into the X. So on the old Twitter X here, I posted an idea for the news. And what I wanted to see was the 30-30 stay under this POC, which is yesterday's 30-minute Qs POC. And then we can start breaking down a little bit and come back down to a 428.53. And that's only if target short, if data allows a pull down, right? So we had jobs data and a couple of little mints up today, and that was trade plan numero uno, and that one did not go through. We had to actually just navigate the chop and scalp a bunch of $7,000 window here, $6,000 window with the other account an opposite way. So let's get into exactly what I said. So as I posted on here, I said Q's over under will remain 432.26 higher or 431.24 lower. So those 2 points of interest were built off the Fibonacci. So I will get into why I did that. If you're interested in seeing the live trade that I did 2,400 on this morning, that YouTube is posted, and I'll talk about these gaps as well. Pre-market live trade, live trade here in the pre-market with again gaps, data, the same things as we talked about yesterday. So if you're interested in seeing that, I'll post a link in the description, or find me at X, find it there. On to the Qs and the SPY. We'll actually do this on TOS this morning. So we'll start here. Now the Qs. This is where I get my Fibonacci points from, and this is how I told my crew a couple different call outs. You can see those Twitter call outs too at 7:30 that I call the easy up. We had a couple guaranteed trades today, and I don't like the word guaranteed in the stock market, but these were guaranteed because of how they were working. What am I? There we go, Jesus. Because of how they were working here. So let's get into the Qs. These Fibonacci's come from yesterday. This is not the chart I want, to the 5-minute chart. 15 minutes of downside from yesterday's all-time highs. We had 3 candle walk down right here, and this is technically a all-time high, right? So as we hover here, I made the fib box pointed down, and we had that 431.24 level, 432.82. That's where we're getting those levels from. For over under, and the 1618 was our other huge one. So this is a daily candle, which we had discussed in the prior YouTubes here, and we were going to go long into 432.23. That's where the third level comes from. So over under that level, long or short. So over 432.22, which happens to be the golden pocket of our Fibonacci, lines up exactly with the daily 1618 over under target. Yesterday, that was the long target, right? You see what happened after we hit the long target? Boom, fall, fall. That's where we got our short. Now today, if we maintain above the 1618, we start to squeeze out long and further all-time highs. If we go under the 1618, we will have a walk down to said levels that we predicted, and that's if data allowed it, right? That's the catalyst we're waiting for. So data came out very soft, very in line, wasn't anything crazy. So we're looking for more long side, and all you got to do is watch the Fibonacci from our pick point yesterday. So I'm going to shrink these down, zoom in here. We're going to go 1 minute on our 2 trades that were guarantees here. We'll start with Qs on the 1. General sentiment of Qs. We had the Fibonacci over under. This is the golden pocket, 38.20 to 61.8, including the 50. Okay. That is the 15-minute one from yesterday's highs. Anything above that, we're going to squeeze out. Anything below that, lower. So we had a low dump, no confirmation yet, just cut through all the way back to a higher high. This would signal higher high, looking for now higher low in sequence, right? So it needs to hold the golden pocket and move up. So let's take a peek. Boom, boom, double top, boom. Look at that, higher low. Where's the higher low? Golden pocket, the perfect Fibonacci pick. Oh, I love it. What else is right there? 1618 on the Qs, right? So 432.36. Now we had that right here. Chopped it a little bit, but we had our golden Fibonacci's. Both worked out in market sentiment. So let's get into our trades here, okay? And that's basically the whole instance of the trade. So it was long biased over that, and that was your confirmation. All you gotta do is look at the minute chart here. This was low, higher low, higher high, guaranteed a trend pop. That was a very big one. And I do not like the word guarantee, but these were very easy today. Let's get into the ES trade that I posted live. If you want to see this video, Again, I'll post it in the description, but I'm going to cover it here real fast after the data. Again, now you know how picky I am with gaps. This is our #1 strategy for our top 5 strategies. We trade gaps on the 1 minute if they appear. Let's take a very close look at the minute chart on ES. This thing does not like to leave gaps open. Yesterday was the first time ever I've ever seen it. So let's take a peek. Look at this. 1, see that on the screen? Yep. Okay. 2, 3 gaps right here. And I was like, man, I'm watching this huge dip. I'm like, we're going to come back up there. But then I seen it kind of start stalling out here a little bit. I'm like, okay, it's going to wait for data. Here's jobs data, right? So data came out and I'm like, okay, we'll just trade the long after data. Here's a gap, came back down and filled that one. Here's a gap, came back down and filled that one. So these ES gaps love fills. Okay, so pay attention to these. This is our #1 of 5 strategies. We love this. So to the jobs data, and where did we go? Right, here's our fills. Or here's our gaps, not fills rather. 3 different gaps, all played like this. Here's the jobs data. So after the data, the trade plan was very simple: stop out, fresh low day, or long, right to the gaps. Right? Jesus, this thing is not. There we go. Zooming in properly. So here is the whole trade. Data came out, pushed the candle, right? So we had to just squeeze the 200. So I did this one live. Again, you can see the video. Anything over the squeeze of the 200, we're going to come back and fill these 3 gaps because they are not going to leave 3 1-minute gaps open here. So big pressure after the jobs, filled right to the 666, and then you could take a short, right? Now, again, here's another scalp. Another short they left open right here. I seen it right away. This was trade number 2. So after we made $2,300-ish here on this long on ES, we swapped right to another one, made $537.50. This was the second ES trade. I seen this gap. I'm like, oh, here we go. Shorted ES, shorted ES, shorted ES. I had 3 of them, came back down, boom, fill. Not a whole lot of points to be had there, so I sized up on that one. Again, very simple scalp trade, right? Into about 1.5 points, but for 3 contracts, made over $150 there. And that's what we ended up with for ES on the day. Those are the only 2 trade days. So if you look at the P&L, we're at $537.50. So that was a $400 trade, and then 1 scalp right there for 3 ES down for about 150 or a little bit above, minus commissions or whatever we got going on there. So on to the next. Where's the next guaranteed trade? So this one's very interesting. I want you guys to pay attention to this very heavily. This is very important. On a 1-minute chart, we're going to go to the Qs for this one. And no futures developed this one. This is why we watch only 2 indices, and we have to have the availability to be able to swap contracts. NQ, MES, ES. These setups differ from Qs and SPY, and that's all we trade back and forth. So you need to be able to have that open accessibility to be able to manage contracts wide open, because certain entities will give you certain trade setups. What do you guys see here? Gap on a live trade. Okay, this is live trading hours. It's not pre-market, back where I usually love my futures gaps. The 1-minute algo gaps fill a lot of time. 99.9% is my main strat. So what do? We obviously shorted it. So it left a live 1 minute. I seen this one and I'm like, boys, short. So we jumped into NQ. NQ and MNQ. I clicked the long button for one. Whoops. Is this trade right here. $365 for a small scalp on 2 MNQs. And that was purely, again, because of the gap. I needed no metrics, no VWAPs, no nothing. I needed this gap. This gap formed, and I was like, oh, here we go. We got the push, and I'm like, it's going to lower high before it gets here, and it's going to come back down and fill this gap. And it also needs to back test confirmation. So let's talk about this little intraday. 432, main golden pocket we talked about, right? Fresh low out of sequence. Fresh low, because this is a sequence. Base, base, higher high. Fresh low, market loves to fresh low, stop out, and then push the other way. They trap everything, right? The genie says that short low breaks, numero uno, not to do. You do not do that. Will get pushed out a lot of these. And when it created a minute gap, oh man, it was beautiful. Short, 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 short. I wanted to size up a little bit more, but I wasn't fast enough. I got back in right here on one though, on the green candle. Either way, that gap filled. And as I said, #1 is my gaps, as I always post. So that was a free trade that was guaranteed to fill today. I know people don't like hearing that, but tough shit. Look it up. Go look at the charts. It always happens. So that was it. And my last trade call for my team was this one. So we'll go over the last one. We're 5 for 5 green. All trades called live and done live for our group. If you're ever interested in trading with us, though, check out the description. I run Boiler Room Trading with my friend Connor. This is a side project on TG33 for the Trade Garage for me. I'm going to start adding more content like vlogs and regular stuff and recaps and fun stuff just for a side hobby. So if you are interested in trading, I got Apex codes, Boiler Room Trading codes. Message me for discounts and come trade with us live. So the last trade call right here was a short on extension. I love volume area high-low extensions and pre-market high-lows. So pre-market, here's our pre-resistance, okay? This is Qs, of course, 1, 2, and 3. Once it broke out, I told my team we're going to short all the pops, slowly add into MNQ because we will need a back test. We are confirmational traders. Once a level like this, 0 fib, yesterday's highs, pre-market, VWAP plus 2, right? We're stacking up a lot. And then at the time, volume area high, which is now way up here because it always recalculates. My orange level, you'll see, was way down here, okay? Volume area high, we'll pretend was right here. This is about where it was. We'll call it 432.74. We had a breakout of volume area highs. And what do we do? We need to back test. So we went over pre-market high finally after 3 attempts rejecting, squeezed it. Boom. What do we do? Short. Why? Because it needs to back test confirmation. Because there's no catalyst. This is not a psychology trade. It's a regular TA trade. That pop was regular technical analysis. It was not caused by world news. It was not caused by CPI, PMI, jobs, PPI, you name it. There was no data. This is a TA. So we know that confirmational back tested algorithms will happen. So we got a nice M pattern. That's a good little short. We are extended. Look at the candles here. Look at all these candles outside of the VWAP 2. Look at how far we are outside the orange level there. That is deviation plus 2 on our regular VWAP. Okay. Blue 2 minus, orange plus 2 positive. So I said, short the crap out of this. We need a back test. This is the break level. Boom. I said, short this. Wait for the back test of that level. And boom, there it is. So we all made money on that 5 for 5 here as well. Perfect double top. Perfect oscillation indicators as well. So let's take a peek at those real fast. That was it. So I only need volume area and VWAP to trade pretty much, and price action. A lot of this other stuff is just extra confirmation, stacking these catalysts. So let's get up and go over here with the RSI. But one of the big incantations of this short that was very easy too that we called after the pop of over pre-market high and the 0% fib that we called was the double top extension on volume area highs, and we needed to get back to volume area highs. So here was the target, okay? So we got back to the old volume area high and pre-market high and yesterday's highs. It all needs back test. Break level, back test confirmation, and doesn't matter what it does after that. Did hold that level, did hit another high, right back to the short side where volume area high. Look at that. Another little peak over volume area high and fail. That is my favorite trade strategy. I've been using volume areas a lot more on the intraday, which is very new for us. I don't use it on the minute scalp, but it's been working out extremely consistent. So that is it. The back test of confirmation. Oh, the oscillation indicator, I totally skipped it. My fault. The oscillation indicators were also giving you the jam here. Hot RSI, MAC was crossed at 10 a.m. and it was telling you any pop should be shorted for a back test confirmation. And that's what happened. RSI back down to the 50 plus some. MAC crossed at about 10 a.m. Central, back down to the 0 line chop. So this short was the last golden trade of the day because we only trade for about an hour and a half, 2 hours in the morning, get it all done. And that's how we made just under 6K. So tune in for the next, and I hope you guys trade safe.